Good morning, class. Today in this class, I'm presenting Nutrition Health Biotechnology OE paper, question paper pattern, and also from my portion, important concept. Okay. So this is last year OE paper. The same pattern will be followed for the third semester. Okay. So this is the model paper of first semester BSc degree examination biotechnology OE paper. Okay. Open elective. Here, this paper will give you just a scheme, okay, pattern of question paper of OE in the main examination. So this OE paper, okay, which carries 2.5 hours, maximum marks 60 marks. Okay, section A will be there, section B will be there, and section C will be there. Section A, you need to answer any four of the following. Each answer carries 2 marks, so total 8 marks. Section B, here you need to answer any four. Each question carries 5 marks. Section C, any four you need to answer. Each question carries 8 marks. Okay, so this is the pattern of question paper of main examination for 60 marks, but you're writing the internal test for 30 marks. Here, first main any two you need to write where it carries 2 marks each and carries 4. Second main any two you need to write two questions carries each 5 marks, so 10 marks. Third main any two, each question carries 8 marks and 16, so total 30 marks. We have same thing reduced to 30. This is main examination pattern and this is your internal test paper pattern. Okay, now let us go through my particular unit 1 content. Okay, before going through in detail, let us now understand here about nutrition. Okay, nutrition is a basic human need and a prerequisite for healthy life. A proper diet is essential from early age of the life for growth, development, and active life. Okay, we need to have the nutrition for our growth, development, and active life. Nutrition is a science that deals with all the various factors of which food is composed and the way in which proper nourishment is brought about. Right? The average nutritional requirements of groups of people are fixed depend on such measurable characteristics such as age, sex, height, weight, degree of activity, and rate of growth. So all these matters when we consume any kind of food. Okay, when we are when small to the small kids we give different type of nutrition, aged people different type of nutrition, and again adolescent different type of nutrition. So everything matters here. Okay, in the exam you may ask what define nutrition or what is nutrition or what are nutrients. That time you need to answer this. Okay, this is about nutrition. Please keep this in mind. Further, let us understand nutrients. The nutrients are substances required by the body to perform its basic function. If you want to do any kind of basic function, first and most important thing that in our nutrition there must be a proper sufficient amount of nutrients, right? Most nutrient must be obtained from our diet, what we consume. No, in that there must be a nutrients. Since the human body does not synthesize or produce any kind of nutrients, so we need to take that particular nutrients through our food. Nutrients have one or more of three basic functions. They provide energy, contribute to body structure, and are regulate chemical processes in the body. These basic functions allow us to detect and respond to environmental surroundings, that may be a movement, then excrete waste, respire, that is breath, grow, and reproduce. Good nutrition, which also good nutrition and physical activity and a healthy lifestyle are essential for good health. Okay, you can write this information for your nutrient. So this is about nutrition and nutrient. So in this slide, you learned about nutrition and nutrients. Okay, kindly keep this in your mind. Now let us go through in the exam. You may get like what is health. Okay, for that you need to understand this particular health. Health is a changing concept, right? When when we keep our health in a very good condition, whatever you want, that is going to happen, and miracles also happen because sound body, sound health, mind will be always vibrant thing. Traditionally, health has been viewed as absence of disease. This is biomedical concept based on germ theory of disease. Okay, this concept ignores the role of environmental, social, cultural, and psychological determinants of health. It was found inadequate to explain problems like malnutrition, chronic diseases, drug abuse, mental illness, etc. So now let us understand the proper definition of the uh, health. So according to ecological concept, health is a state of harmonious equilibrium between human beings and their environment, and this is a state of maladjustment of a human being to the environment. For example, destruction of a forest leading to a climate change. Okay, you can give here the example of this one, and health definition. You can give that is a state of harmonious equilibrium between human beings and their environment. Okay, and the disease of and disease a state of maladjustment of the human being to the environment. So this definition you can give it for the health, and this also health also uh, come across with also environmental, social, cultural, psychological determinants of health. Okay, you can give this particular definition for the health. So you may probably get questions like what are nutrition, or what are nutrition, what is define nutrition, or what are nutrients, or what is health. Okay, you can write that a particular answer for the health. Further, you need to understand about the food. You may get question like what is food, give their functions. Okay, we eat food daily, right? Have you ever questioned why we eat food and what it does to our body? Food is to provide various nutrients for meeting the physiological requirement of the body. However, food is much more than just a carrier of nutrients. Okay, so when we asked what define food, you can give this particular definition. Food, substance consisting essentially of proteins, carbohydrates, fat, and other nutrients used in the body of an organism to sustain growth and vital processes to furnish energy. The absorption and utilization of food by the body is fundamental to nutrition and is facilitated by digestion. Whenever we consume food, compulsory there must be a digestion so that other body parts of the organ can be utilized as the nutrients. Okay. Further, you can also define food as anything solid or liquid which once swallowed, digested, and assimilated in the body provides it with essential substances called nutrients and keeps it well, right? And these nutrients will be utilized by the body system for the growth and development. It is the basic necessary of life. Food supplies energy, enables growth and repair of tissues and organs. It also protects the body from disease and regulates the body functions to keep in a healthy condition. So this is about the definition of the food. Okay, from this slide you may get questions that is define food or what are food. Okay, that time you need to keep this particular information. Further, you may get questions like functions of food. Okay, during functions of food you can write this particular answer. In this case, functions of food, food is one of our basic necessities. It may include rice, chapatis, dal, curries, curd, milk, fruit, etc. We may live without food perhaps for a few days, but if we do not get it for long, our working capacity goes down and we feel weak, right? So you must have noticed this while fasting, especially when you fast for a long time. This indicates that food is very important for maintaining our general health. It helps us in performing various activities. You will thus become familiar with the various functions of food. When we go to the functions of food, the physiological function of food, which includes release of energy for performing various activities. When you want energy, you need to consume food, right? After consuming food, from the food, energy will be released in our body system so that we can do other motor activities. How food helps in our body growth or development, and how Food helps in regulating our body process and protects our body from infectious disease and injuries. We must understand. We will also familiar with the psychological and social aspects of food, because when we consume this food, psychological and also social aspects also matters a lot. Thus, food performs the following three major functions. Okay, one is physiological functions, whatever the food we consume that affect our body system, and second one, psychological function, what we eat, no, that will also change our psychology. So psychological functions also matters. Then social function, in which environment the food was prepared and that was consumed. So all these three functions matters a lot for the food. Okay, you may get these questions like what are food, define food and give its function. That time you're supposed to write all this information. Okay, in continuation of functions of food, food provides us various nutrients such as carbohydrates, right, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. All these nutrients, along with water present in the food, help in the normal functioning of our body process. Either deficiency or excess of one or more of these can very often results in the malfunctioning of our body. So all the nutrients are very, very important. Further, energy giving food is utilized in our body to give us energy. Our body requires energy for performing physical activities like sitting, standing, walking, running, climbing up and down, etc. We also spend energy for activities like cooking, stitching, gardening, etc. You must have experienced it that you, when you feel angry after heavy works, that time also we need food, right? Further, food gives us energy for maintenance of life and to do work. Okay, you can keep all this in mind when we ask the question like give the functions of food. See, give the functions of food. That time we can write this particular answer. So further, when we take the functions related with the bodybuilding, which is responsible for the growth and development, you have seen a child growing up, right? So what body is building based on the nutrients, whatever the child has taken, right? He gains both in weight and height. This can only be possible if he eats the right type of food and right amount of nutrients in the food, right? Right type is also important and right amount of food is also important. You can't consume too much, right? So this particular function of food is known as the body building functions of food. Okay, when we are, when students are at a sports level or any other specifics but professional thing, that time they'll focus on everything, right? Body, for the bodybuilding, one has to consume the food in right type and also right amount is very important. After bodybuilding, functions of food, you can also keep in your mind regulation of body processes and body protection. In our body, various processes are ongoing and food helps in regulating these. Food also helps in protecting our body from various infectious diseases and we get resistance when we consume right type of food. The major nutrients involved in body regulations are proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water we need to consume all in a proper way. Dear students, don't be lazy while explaining. Please pay attention. Yes, wake up and pay attention. Thank you. Further, food not only provides various nutrients, but it also satisfies our hunger needs and gives us psychological satisfaction, right? Sometimes when we have food, we feel like very satisfied. That is a psychological function. Right? When you have very delicious food and your favorite food, you feel very happy and pleasant like that. Further, for instance, if you like rice, halwas, or maybe a pizza, burger, or any your favorite food, you get them in your meal. Okay, when that time you experience joy in eating these, that is nothing but your psychological food. Or sometimes when you have consumed some food which you don't like, you would be very angry, and you don't like, and that won't be a very pleasant way, right? Similarly, the food cooked by the person you love adds to your joy of eating. Very often food may be used as reward for achievement, right? A child on his good performance may be given sweets, ice cream, etc. Similarly, withdrawal of food may be used as a punishment in some cases. This is known as the psychological aspect of food, and we can say that food gives us a sense of psychological satisfaction. Okay. Apart from the functions mentioned about all the functions of food, that is the psychological and physiological functions of food, it is also very important from social point of view. Okay. Food creates atmosphere where the social relationships can be developed, and it helps in bring the people from different classes, communities, religious closer. You must have often seen that each of our social gatherings and functions are followed by some type of food. So it comes under the functions. So three factors of functions we have already discussed in the being, that is physiological, where that gives the bodybuilding and energy to our body system, whatever we consume, the nutrients, everything. Then psychological, that add very important feel or pleasure to our body and mind. Now we are going through the social aspects are related with the functions of food, right? When we gather, always we gathering will be started with the type of the food, maybe a cake or maybe any kind of food like that. At birthday party, engagement party, or marriage party, food helps in sharing the joy and happiness of each other. So this also come under functions of food. You must have often invited your friends or relatives for dinner or tea, etc. Here, food helps in expressing your hospitality towards them, that is, how much you care for them and how much you serve the food with love at home or maybe a party, and what kind of food you are going to provide. In the same way, exchange of sweets at festivals like Deepavali, Eid, Christmas is one of the ways of sharing your joy with other people. So all this which comes under the functions of food. So to conclude about the functions of food, this particular functions of food, the main important thing is that energy yielding. This group includes food rich in carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Okay, 1 gram of carbohydrate gives 4 calories, whereas 1 gram of protein gives 4 calories. 1 gram of fat gives 9 calories to the body system. Then bodybuilding, foods rich in protein are called bodybuilding foods. They are also classified into two groups, can be categorized milk, egg, meat, fish. They are rich in proteins of high biological value. Okay, these proteins have all the essential amino acids in correct proportion for the synthesis of the body tissues. And the second category is that pulses, oil seeds, and nuts. Where people don't want to be very non-vegetarian, they can go for this particular second category for the bodybuilding, so that they can consume pulses, oil seeds, and nuts. And these are rich in proteins but may not contain all the essential amino acids required by the human body. Then protection and regulation. Food rich in protein, vitamins, minerals have regulatory functions in the body. For example, maintaining the heartbeat, water balance, temperature, protective food are broadly classified into two groups again. Okay, so if you feel very difficult in the previous one, you can take this point also, write about what is food, and also you talk here in the functions of food about psychological food, physiological food, and also social aspects of the food, so that we can cover, you can cover the functions of food. Food is very important for us, right? It is not only satisfy our apparent need of hunger, but also provides us all the nutrients to maintain our life and help in the growth of our body. It also gives us protection against different diseases and infections, and gives us psychological satisfaction. As I already told, it also gives the functions of psychological aspects. Besides, food helps in us in making our social contacts and strengthening relationships. When you take friends together, when you have some pani puri or masala puri or pizza, burger, that will also create a very good friendship bondage like that, right? So that is nothing but sociological functions and also psychological functions. Food helps our body to grow. In our body, not only the new cells and tissues are being added every moment, but also the old ones are continuously being broken down and repaired. This results in body growth. Although all the nutrients present in our food help in this function, the major role is played by proteins, minerals, and water, and this is known as bodybuilding functions of food. One has to keep in your mind. Okay, nutrition. You may get a question like define nutrition. So you need to answer this particular thing. This is the study of food. It's ingestion, digestion, absorption, utilization. What happens if too much is taken? What happens if too little is taken in and its digestion? This is the scientific study of all the process of growth, maintenance, and repair of living bodies, which depends upon food what you intake. That matters a lot. Also, we can define this food as the science of foods, nutrients, and other substances they contain, and of their actions within the body, including ingestion, digestion, absorption, metabolism, and excretion. While this summarizes the psychological dimensions, nutrition has social and psychological and economical dimensions too. Okay, so you can give this particular definition for your nutrition. Further, you may get questions like define diet. So diet is all that what we consume in a day, and a balanced diet is a diet that contains an adequate quantity of nutrients that we require in a day. A balanced diet includes 6 main nutrients, that is fats, proteins, carbohydrates, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. All these nutrients are present in the food that we eat. In nutrition, diet is the sum of food consumed by a person. Okay, in short, you can also write definition of the diet or meaning of the diet. Diet is the sum of food consumed by a person. The word diet often implies the use of specific intake of nutrition for the health or weight management reason. A healthy diet is essential for good health and nutrition. Okay, it protects you against many chronic non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So healthy diet is very, very important. Eating a variety of foods and consuming less salt, sugars, and saturated and industrially produced trans fats are essential for healthy diet. Then diet refers to the total amount of food consumed by individuals, whereas nutrition is the process of utilizing food for growth, metabolism, and repair of tissues. So the relationship between diet and nutrition and health is two-way. Health status can be affected by nutrient deficiency and vice versa. Okay, keep in mind about the various definitions or meaning of the diet. Kindly don't be very sleepy. Kindly focus on whatever I'm telling. Make a note. All these are very important for your internal test. So wake up and study. Thank you. Now you may be asked question like define for food pyramid or briefly explain food pyramid or write a note on food pyramid. So you need to keep this in mind. A food pyramid is a representation of the optimal number of servings to be eaten and each day from each of the basic food groups. The food pyramid is a visual representation of how different foods and drinks contribute towards a healthy, balanced diet. The food pyramid allows individuals the flexibility to choose the foods and drinks from each shelf depending on their food preferences. Okay, food pyramid is very, very important in our diet. So this is about the food pyramid. As you notice here, grains and cereals you need to eat most. Okay, grains and cereals you need to eat most. Again, fruits and vegetables here also eat more. Okay, then eat moderately. Meat, poultry, then fish, eggs, dry beans, and dairy products. Eat less. Fat, oil, salts, and sweets can be less in your particular diet. Okay, but for kids, we can consume more fat, oil, salt, but as and when we grow, we need to reduce this particular fat, oil, salts, and sweets. The civilized man does not eat all the food as it is available in the nature, right? He cuts, cooks, processes. Cuts means vegetables or whatever, right? Fruits, everything. We cut. We usually don't eat directly, so we cut and cook, process, and modifies the food in many ways before we consuming as per our need. So food defined as anything solid or liquid which can be swallowed, digested, and assimilated, and nourishes in the body. So food pyramid, when you ask such type of question, write this particular food pyramid and write which one to be eat most, eat more, eat moderately, eat less, and some points about the food pyramid. So food pyramid here we have designed to know about healthy foods and in which proportions they should be consumed in our day-to-day life. Healthy foods consists carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals in a correct proportion. In optimal concentration, we are supposed to have the right type of food at the right time. Same nutritive value foods are kept together in each block of the pyramid. Food pyramid as a guide will help you to get the right balance of nutritious foods within your calorie range. Studies showed that we take in too many calories from foods and drinks high in fat, sugar, and salt on top shelf of the food pyramid, but they are less in vitamins and minerals. So that's why you need to ask as much as possible. We need to eat less. So this is about the food pyramid. Kindly focus on this one. I need to write. So now at the end, now let us go through this particular food groups. When we go through the food groups, can be classified into different groups depending upon their nutritive value for the convenience of diet plan. Food groups like basic 4 groups that is suggested by ICMR can be used for planning diets. Basic four food groups suggested by ICMR here: cereals and millets, okay, rice, wheat, ragi, maize, bajra, jowar, rice flakes, puffed rice, okay, pulses and legumes. So all this you can keep in your mind. Here you can see the impact: energy, protein, invisible fat, thiamine, riboflavin, iron, folic acid, and fiber. All these ingredients can be seen. Then second one is milk and animal products. Then third one, vegetables and fruits, green leafy vegetables. Then fourth one is oils, fats, and nuts. So all these, which is about the 4 food groups suggested by the ICMR. Okay, you can take a screenshot and make a note of this particular information about food groups. For your first internal test, if you study this much, that is more than enough for your test. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this particular session. Thank you.